just to show.
Yes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have our favorite astrologer Ms.Jayshree Dhamani with us. So ma'am has done a video regarding childcare and parenting. I will post the link of the first video underneath this video. And today we are going to do the second part. In this second part, we will be dealing with emotional struggles of the child and how we can detect any problem with the child goes through, and how can we deal with the problems, and what are the guidelines in our shastras about parenting. So, Jayshree ma'am, thank you so much for coming back to my channel.
Namaste, Namaste Jay, and thank you for having me, giving me this second chance. And it is always a pleasure to talk on your channel and discussing certain things, astrological things with you.
Thank you so much for that. So we discussed a lot of things regarding childcare and parenting. So these days, many children are having some kind of disability, like learning
Yes.
disability and disability in comprehending things. So can you please teach us something about how we can detect learning disability? Yes, we can detect it through psychologists and we can detect it through observing the child. But how astrology can step in while understanding the learning
Yes.
disability or other kind of comprehending issues in a child's life?
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to say if you notice certain symptoms in your child that which is not normal, like the
Okay.
child is not able to connect with other people's, the child is not able to memorize certain things,
Okay.
the child is like having any abnormal behavior, like getting very aggressive without no reason. So
Okay.
these are the symptoms, and many more of such symptoms we can notice that there is a problem with the child, and
Okay.
that is noticeable only by the parents first. So if
Yes.
the parent is noticing such behavior from the child, then they can definitely approach the doctor first, and then if they want more understanding and deeper understanding, they can check with astrology also.
That's true.
In the birth chart we can always check the fifth house majorly for the
Okay.
intelligence.
Okay.
For
Of the child's fifth house,
yes,
in the child's
yes,
horoscope. Okay.
in the child's horoscope if we check the fifth house,
Okay.
it is it is going to indicate the intelligence, the level of intelligence a child can have.
Okay.
And this planet is Mercury. Mercury
Okay.
is a planet of intelligence, Mercury is a planet of learning
Okay.
and processing things, like
Okay.
grasping things.
Okay.
So how well we can grasp the our environment and everything is determined by Mercury.
Okay.
Mercury is also our nervous system, the entire nervous system. We get anxious because we have afflicted Mercury or afflicted fifth house. So the
Okay.
entire intelligence of a child can be determined by the fifth house of child's horoscope.
Okay.
What is your mental level? That can be determined. So if by any chance fifth lord and fifth house of the horoscope has any afflictions by Saturn, Rahu, Ketu,
Okay.
also at times Mars, because
Okay.
Mars is a bitter enemy of Mercury. Here we will look into whoever is against Mercury,
Mm-hmm.
who's like enemy to Mercury.
Okay.
That planet and the signification of that planet can make a huge difference in our intelligence, however intelligent you are. But if you have an enemy in front of you, you will feel the fear. You will not be your natural way. You
Okay.
will not be your natural in your natural sense.
Okay.
All your intelligence will be like forgotten
That's true.
if the enemy is in front of you, or any affliction by Saturn, because Saturn is like a planet of suffering, giving you grief. Definitely it is good for your long term progress, because it teaches you in a harsh manner
Mm.
what you have to do. It is always a harsh manner that Saturn teaches, and Saturn teaches with delays, with blockages. It restricts our path. So when Saturn is connected with the fifth house, we always get delays in learning something.
Okay.
So when there is a learning disability, the first planet we need to look for is if the fifth house has any influence on of Saturn, and also if Mercury also is aspected by Saturn or conjunct with Saturn.
Okay.
Then the second important planet we need to look into is Rahu.
Okay.
Rahu is known for confusing
Okay.
people, confusing our intelligence,
Okay.
because the motion, the motion of Rahu is naturally retrograde.
Yes.
Everyone will go like forward, Rahu will go backward. So Rahu will not let you go further. You really have to push yourself hard if Rahu is connected to your fifth house. See, fifth house is also our past life karmas and the
Yes.
benefits that we get from the previous births. So even the intelligence comes in that. So when any child is having any disability with learning, then there are chances that some previous karmas are impacting the child and blocking the path of his success.
Hmm. Okay.
So Saturn, Rahu, our previous karma, along with Ketu. Even
Okay.
Ketu is signified by our previous karma, our intelligence. With Ketu placed there, we can have amazing intelligence.
Okay.
Even that is possible. Ketu is like can go both the ways.
Okay.
It can
Okay.
be positive if you have done good karmas, and it
Yes.
can be negative if your karmas are not good.
Okay.
So with Ketu, we cannot say with surety that it will always block your path. No, it is not necessary.
Okay.
So the main planet who can block the intelligence and the learning of a child and make the child disabled and to move forward in his life, it can be only Saturn and Rahu,
Okay.
impacting the fifth house, fifth lord, and also Mercury.
Okay.
These are fundamental principles which we need to check in an horoscope if we want to check that if there is any problem with the child.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Like, Mercury is the planet for intelligence, and the connection with Mercury to the fifth house and natural malefic planets can block or delay the progress in education. Okay. How about Mercury being in other house and not connected with the fifth house, and Mercury is under the impact
Again,
of.
yes, again, strength of Mercury is very important in anybody's chart. It
Okay.
is just not like for a child, Jay.
Okay.
It is Mercury is like our intelligence. We have Mercury is a planet who would go, whoever Mercury conjunct with, whoever Mercury associate with, Mercury will take up that trend. See, if Mercury is connected with Jupiter, it will grasp Jupiter's tendency. If Mercury is connected with Rahu, it will grasp Rahu's tendency. So
Hmm.
Mercury is neutral planet
Okay.
and can be
Okay.
easily influenced. It can be very easily influenced. So Mercury is very important, and if Mercury is making any connection with the ascendant, an ascendant lord,
Okay.
then it is also again an important planet because it is impacting not just your intelligence, it is impacting your entire being.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Mercury and strength of Mercury we need to check, not necessary it is only with the fifth house or fifth lord or something like that, and not in the case only when the child is disabled. Even for his ability we need to check the strength of Mercury and wherever it is placed. And
Okay.
mostly, if we check, Mercury is good when Mercury is alone or Mercury is in benefic association. So, that is very important that where our thoughts are channelized,
Hmm.
what company we have, And with company, what comes is Mercury. Mercury
Okay.
is significator for friends.
Okay.
Mercury signifies the environment.
Okay.
Mercury is also significator for the fourth house.
Okay. Fourth
We
house
see,
also.
yeah, it's Venus, Mercury, and Moon. We have three significator for the fourth house.
Okay.
So our environment is with Mercury.
Okay.
We breathe, right? We breathe,
Yes.
and the significator is Mercury. And the
Okay.
breathing comes from the fourth house. That's our heart.
Okay. Okay. Uh, right now, we have discussed about Mercury. So there is a general question from many people like how Mercury works in these two conditions. One, when it is retrogression. Then second, when it is too combust. I mean, uh,
Yes.
too combust. I mean,
Very
combust within
close.
5 degrees. So
Yeah.
many people ask the questions, and can you please share your insight regarding
Yes. Yes.
retrogression?
See, when we say Mercury combustion and Mercury retrogression, it is the most frequent transit.
Yes,
It
yes.
is not like very rare transit. It
Hmm.
happens every month. I mean, Mercury retrograde every 3 months, and
Yes,
three times and at times 4 times a year. And combustion is like Mercury is mostly combust because Mercury is mostly around the sun.
yes,
So these two conditions of Mercury is not rare. It is not difficult if we understand how to deal with it.
hmm,
Mercury retrogression will give us some block in our some delays in our process, documentation process, communication. So that is fundamental. When Mercury is retrograde, a person, a layman who doesn't know anything about Mercury, but the person has good intelligence, the person would be very cautious about his stuff, right?
that's true.
The person doesn't know about retrogression. He would just go by his intelligence. If he will make any mistake, then only Mercury retrogression will impact him.
That's true.
Otherwise, he doesn't know anything about retrogression, and it will not impact him if he is using his intelligence,
Okay,
right? So
okay.
retrogression is not actually happening in the sky, Jay.
That's true. That's true.
We perceive it that way
Hmm.
because we see others are running and we are falling behind. That's retrogression.
Okay,
So nothing to worry about retrogression. For a layman, retrogression doesn't give any impact. We say that, with retrogression, there are delays, there are problems in communication. But if we are cautious, we check and double check with everything
okay,
more cautiously, it will not impact because not actually in the sky Mercury is going behind.
okay. This is in transit or in the horoscope also.
Even in the horoscope also, it is like at the birth time when the birth happened, that time the retrogression was there.
Hmm.
But the retrogression happened not because of Mercury actually going behind.
Hmm.
It was just the perceived thing that
Okay,
there was retrogression.
okay, okay,
So actually, if we see, you just have to notice this, that you have retrograde Mercury in your birth chart or in your transit.
hmm.
Be cautious about it. See,
Okay,
after 1, 2, 3 experience, I will know that I have to be cautious in certain area. This is like fundamental for everyone,
okay,
that one time something would happen with me, that I go wrong somewhere in my documentation or in my communication. I can repeat the same even for the second time, I can repeat it for the third time. Then I should use my intelligence that okay, this is happening repeated with me and I need to be cautious here.
okay,
That's retrogression. That
okay,
repeatedly you do something, you need to be aware that okay, something is the pattern of my life,
okay, okay,
or something is bothering me every time I do certain things. So it's like with awareness, we can handle it and we can grow, right? Life is all about growing.
Yes.
And astrology is what? Astrology, we are looking at the patterns of human behavior, and then we determine that
Yes.
okay, retrogression period gives such kind of impact. So if astrology is giving certain patterns of life, then we need to observe our own patterns.
Okay.
If we are not aware or there is no one to guide us, then we can observe our own self, right? That okay, this happened one time, two time, three time. I remember every month, every July, this particular incident happens only. So
Okay.
that's a pattern that I look into.
Okay. And
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 with combustion
combustion.
also, yeah, with combustion also, Jay, it is like sun and Mercury are together.
Yes.
It's, I mean, not together, they are close to each other.
Okay.
And that's how this happens. So when sun and Mercury are together, sun is taking power of Mercury,
Okay.
and Mercury is completely influenced by the authorities, by sun. So the only difference is you lack your natural self, you lack your natural free self to express your ideas,
Okay.
because your power is taken over by the sun.
Okay. So
But this,
the person becomes like a very much authoritative, or the person
yes,
will not be
yes,
scared about expressing their opinion.
yes, yes. So your expression will be taken over by the authority people.
Okay.
Somehow your expressions are blocked or restricted. But that doesn't mean you cannot express. The
Yes.
moment you
Yes.
are out of sun's shadow, you are free.
Okay.
So we have day and light, day and night, right?
Yes.
In the daytime, we have sun. In the night, we do not have sun.
Yes.
So we feel different, right? The same way combustion is when the Mercury is under the shadow of sun, we have to be going by sun.
Okay.
And in combustion, Jay, it is very important to check the rulership and the lordship of sun, and that is Leo sign. What Leo sign signifies in your chart?
Okay.
That will give that kind of result that you can have from the combust Mercury.
Okay. Suppose in Leo, Sun is conjuncting Mercury in a very close degree, but they are in different nakshatra. For example, Sun is in Magha nakshatra and Mercury is in Uttara Falguni. So
That
the
will make a
nakshatra plays.
Yeah, that will make a difference, of course. And who's ahead and who's behind also will make a difference. Whether
Okay.
sun is behind and Mercury is ahead, and if there is a combustion, then definitely sun will throw its light on Mercury.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so your communication will be extraordinary, I would say,
Okay.
because sun is behind. See, it's like the light is behind and Mercury is ahead.
Okay.
So the lights are on what? Mercury.
Yes. Yes.
So everything will like illuminate your communication, your intelligence. People will see your how you're communicating. I mean, excellent communication you can see with this. But
Okay.
when Mercury is behind and Sun is ahead, then Mercury is going towards Sun.
Okay.
So Mercury has to cross that light of Sun.
Okay.
In
Okay.
that case, Mercury will be subdued.
Okay.
But it
Okay.
is never bad.
Okay. Hmm.
See, we cannot go close to sun. And Mercury is so habitual with the fire and the heat of sun that Mercury can perform
Okay.
however he wants. It's just about the awareness. Like
Okay.
how well you are aware about this. That okay, these are the conditions of your chart. And that's why it is very important to know your chart.
That's true. That's
See,
true.
not necessary a person should go to an astrologer with questions and with problems only. You can go to
That's
an
right.
astrologer to know yourself. That how can I, nobody asks such question. How
That's
can I
true. That's
improve
true.
my communication? How can I improve my work life? They always look for like, when will I get promotion?
When will I
When
get
will we get
married?
married?
When will I
Huh.
get married? Will this horoscope, my horoscope has a good compatibility with this horoscope? Like people has to know what are the patterns in my life.
Yes, yes, that's what
That's
exactly you said very rightly, that you need to check the patterns of your own life, like where I can be weak, where I can be strong. So
that's true.
when we are talking about even for child disability or learning, we always need to check where the child is weak and where the child has strength. There
Mm.
are chances that the child can be weak somewhere, but he can be very good at some other area of
Yes,
his
yes.
life.
I tell people like no, God cannot create anything which is utterly useless.
Yes.
Everybody will be having some strengths as
Yes.
well as weakness. We
Yeah.
need to understand that and arrange our life like that.
And nobody goes behind, right? We
That's
always
true.
go forward in life.
That's true. That's true.
We see growth. We
That's true.
cannot go back to our childhood.
That's
We
true.
will
That's true.
always get older and older.
That's true. So the second question is, uh, this is about childhood trauma. Like I just told you that so many
Yes.
parents are killing their child and their children are having bad childhood. So how to understand whether a child will have childhood trauma and how to understand how to treat that childhood trauma and when this childhood trauma will come. Like
Okay.
when the
So first of all, Jay, astrologically, the entire horoscope is divided in two parts.
yes, one
It
to
is
seven,
like
seven
1 to
to
7
six.
and 7 to 1 again. I mean, it's completely half.
Yeah.
So the left hand side of the chart is for the self improvement
Yes.
and our childhood. I mean, till we cross our half life and go to the other half of the chart wherein it is completely our public life. So when you divide the horoscope and you look into the first half, that is left hand side of the horoscope, we can see if there are malefic placements like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, majorly. Then the child may have problem with developing or having a happy childhood.
Okay.
So
Okay.
check the first half. I mean, especially I would say the second house, the third house, the fourth house, and later the fifth house.
Mm-hmm.
These houses are very important to look into the childhood situation. How is your home environment? Because a child is going to breathe and will be completely under the command of their parents. The child cannot do anything by himself or herself.
That's
The
true.
parents are responsible and the home environment is responsible. So the fourth house, the mother, is the primary reason a child can be happy, well developed, or a child can be unhappy or having problems in growing. So the fourth house, the fourth lord, and the afflictions with the fourth house along with the second house. Second house is for the family because there are chances
Yes.
many children do not have mother, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a family and it could be an extended family also.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to check the childhood circumstances, because we are growing in those circumstances, we grasp from that circumstances. So if a mother or the dominant person, whoever is taking care of the child, is strong, having the right intention for the child, giving the child love, care, attention, the child will not face any problem because there is a guardian who's safeguarding the child's interest, and
Mothers
that we
is
have only in the fourth house, that is
mm,
our home. Child will be always with their mother or whoever is taking care of them.
mothers. They need to have a lot of mental health as well as physical health also. They also
Yes.
need to protect their mind and physical health.
Yes.
That's what I feel like. In one astrology class, Guruji Sri Kenraj was telling these days majority of women want more freedom.
Yes.
Once the women start feeling like she needs more freedom, uh, more liberation, then the concept of family start diminishing.
Yes. See, our the next thing was like about the samskaras.
Samskaras,
That
yes.
was, yeah, samskaras. In our shastras, Jay, they have specifically given the lifestyle we need to live.
Yeah,
A
yes.
woman has certain responsibility with home, with love, caring, because a woman is good at that. See, here, even I am a woman, even you are woman, but it is not about independence. It is not about, we naturally have that love and caring within us.
Yes,
We
yes.
are made
Instincts.
with that. And the same kind of love and affection may not be in a male person. I'm not saying male will not be affectionate or caring, but the amount of love and unconditional feeling a woman would have, because God has made woman for that.
That's true. That's true.
A mother can be only a woman and not man. So
That's
there
true.
is a fundamental difference between male and female. So a female is entitled with love. God has given that gift of love and unconditional love to only mother. So mother is naturally responsible towards the child because it is her creation. Definitely it is with the help of male. But mother is and these are all are mentioned in our shastras, that the duties of female, the duties of male. But now
Yes.
with modern society, we can also grow, we can also work, but the fundamental, our responsibilities, we cannot ignore towards the family, towards our child, towards the love and affection towards humanity. So that is inbuilt in female, and that, all these things are written in our shastras, that how we have to live, what is the best way to live, the fundamental importance of discipline, why there are rules. The rules are there for a reason.
Yes.
Imagine we do not have any rules in the society, what will happen?
So much of crime, unrest.
We the society is actually heading towards that.
That's true. You are very true. Uh, 1 month or 2 months back, one trans couple in Kerala, the woman changed gender to male and male changed the gender to the woman, lady. The uh, lady who changed the gender, she delivered a child while she was a male, and she chopped off her breasts and all. If she wouldn't have done that, the child would have got good nourishment through the breast milk.
Yeah, yeah,
What is the point in living like that? I don't understand. And I'm
yeah,
totally confused about the child's mental health. And all the activists, like people, no, they are coming out and telling who cannot, so who said trans people cannot become parents. Yeah, they can become parents, but the ultimate truth is the female in that couple only got, she only delivered, right?
yeah. The problem will happen with the child. I mean,
Yes,
even
yes, yes, the
if
child will
because y'all
suffer.
are mature, the male and the female, whoever changed the gender, they are mature enough to take care of themselves. But what about the child? What
That's
is the
true.
psychology of child?
There are lesbian parents. Their children also will go through a lot of trauma.
Yes. See, there are rules, and those rules are for certain reasons, for the discipline in the society. Imagine everywhere we do not have any rules. If on the road we do not have any rule while driving, what will happen? Only
Accident.
accidents would happen.
Yes, yes, yes. Ma'am, you told me one thing about keeping samskara in the childhood, then 40s before the video you were sharing.
Yes.
No? Can you please
Yes.
elaborate it for my
Yeah.
viewers?
Yeah. So fundamentally, from 1 year from the birth till 16 years, it is our duty. written in our Shastras to learn for everyone. It is to enhance your psychology, it is to
Okay.
enhance and have better knowledge. From
Okay.
16 to 30, 35, you need to be in the grahasthashram. That is, you need to learn the duties towards your family, get married, earn, develop a family. From 40 to 50 and 60, you need to be completely doing all your duties towards your children. From 60, you are at the age of retirement, and see, this is government who has given the age of 60, but it is written in our Shastras that at the age of 60 you must vanprasthan, you must go, you must release your duties, you must hand over your duties to your son or your daughter, whoever is in your family, and retire mentally and get into spirituality. So these are the stages written in our Shastras, and these are a small specimen that I am saying. There are
Okay.
many principles to guide us, like how best we can live our life. But we are not getting into our Shastras. Our children won't even know what is
Yeah, that's true.
Grahasthashram, what is Vanaprasthan, what are your duties.
There are, I mean, these days, uh, I I went to many motivational classes for my children. They asked parents also to come. In every class, they are mentioning alchemist. But whatever is in alchemist, it is in Gita. Nobody is mentioning Gita. Everybody is going towards the West.
Right.
So we are actually forgetting our roots.
Yes, yes. So the fun, if we as a parent we teach our children, or at least the school will have certain system to
Yeah,
keep our Vedas and our culture alive, then things will not go haywire. The
that's true.
child will learn what are the principles, because these principles are well developed thousands of years ago.
They are time tested, time proven,
Yes.
everything. So that's really very good. I would like to go to Vanaprastha when I hit my
Yes,
60.
yes. And that is the natural course. I mean, if you don't get into Vanaprasthan, if you don't retire, you will have conflict in the house,
Yes, yes,
because
absolutely
there will
right.
be power struggle. Your child is already ready to take over. You are
Yes,
not
yes.
giving the power to your child. It's like
I'll
that.
tell this to my parents today. What you said is absolutely true. There were 3 points. One is finding the disability, learning disability of the child. These days, a lot of children having that kind of disability. Many parents are
See,
coming.
yes, again, Jay, the problem is there is impatience in the parents.
Yes,
Parents want everything fast. I mean, they just want, see, 16 years, it's written in our Shastras that the child must develop slowly and gradually.
okay.
Nowadays, like, the child is like so small and the parent is expecting so much from them.
Yes, by the age of 30, the child will be having personal loan, home loan, vehicle
Yes,
loan, insurance.
yes.
What you said
So
is true.
there
That
is
point,
pressure.
we need at least 60 years to develop our intellect and
Yeah.
understand our responsibilities.
So,
But we are being injected by thoughts that we have to get a house by 30 and we have to have a huge bank balance by 35.
yeah, and it is all about comparison. Like, the parents would check, oh, that one son or daughter is so successful. She is doing so good. My child is not doing good. She must go to this class, that class. I mean, there is no natural learning.
That kind
First
of
of all,
Sharma
any
ji ka beta kind of syndrome.
yeah.
Sharma ji ka beta hai.
So see, earlier in ancient times, Jay, the school was in open, in forest, within nature. So the mind is open.
Okay.
Here we are now learning in an AC classroom.
That's true. No connection with the nature.
There is
No
no
connection
connection.
with the
So
nature.
any disability, we were discussing today about the disability, and the first and fundamental thing, a disabled child should be in the nature.
Okay.
More exposure of nature would make that child grow better.
Mhm.
So any disabled child or having learning delays in their life, if the parents are facing such problems with their child, they should give maximum sunlight to that child.
Okay.
The sun is the life source.
Uh, Now you said about sunlight. I have seen many houses with huge curtains
Hmm.
blocking the sunlight. I have
Yes.
seen so many houses with a lot of internal conflicts and uh, skin diseases.
Yes.
Most of the houses have very thick curtains blocking the
Yes.
sunlight.
Yes. See, it is a particular time we should have that sunlight. Till the time of 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it is the best rays of sun, which is
Okay.
like very healthy and
Okay.
gives us healing.
Okay.
Just by sitting or having some sunlight in the morning, at least for 15 minutes, would enlighten you in so much better way. Jai, sun is the only God we can see.
Okay.
There is no other God we can see. We have not seen any other God.
Okay.
But sun is like live in front of us.
Yes, yes, that's true.
We have sunlight and we are all good. The water, any purification is done by sun.
Okay.
So even the mental purification can be done by sun. You just have to be on a specific time in the morning hours. Be with sun because even the rays of sun changes during the daytime. We have alpha and gamma rays.
Yes.
So the morning rays are very positive and healthy. It is healing. But as we move towards the sunset, the rays of the sun are different.
Even see, I was using sunscreen. Later on, I felt it is not necessary because while I was using it, I started getting so many pimples and all. But once I left it, my skin started to get to back to the
Normal.
normal.
Yes,
So I
yes.
don't use that now.
Yeah, because you need sunlight. But again, there is a timeline. The morning
That's
hours.
true.
The morning hours sunlight is very good. It is healing. So any disability of a child can be cured
Okay.
when the child is more having the exposure of sun.
Okay. Okay.
And another thing, last in the last video we spoke about the elements and the balancing part of elements.
Yes, 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 yes.
In the nature we have complete balance of all the elements.
Yes.
So when we are in the right balanced elemental situation, our brain would work accordingly.
Okay. Okay.
So any disability of a child mentally, emotionally, or even physically can
Okay.
be cured if the child is more having exposure in the nature or in the sun,
Okay.
having more greenery,
Okay.
looking at more greenery, because Mercury is a planet.
Yes, it is the
It is the
green.
cause of everything, and green is the color of Mercury.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So the more you are in the nature, more you are around the trees and the greenery, it will be a slow process if your fundamental planets are being afflicted. But I would say God has created this universe for life. So there will be life and growth.
Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
tree will only grow up. The tree will not die if
Okay.
it will have the proper nurturing.
Okay.
So we just have to nurture our
Actually.
child, our planet, the trees, and the life would retain.
Okay. So, ma'am, this was really a very nice session. 2 points really hit my heart. One is dividing the horoscope into two parts, like 1 to 7, 7 to 12. When too many afflictions are there in the first half of, I mean, your first to seven houses are more afflicted, than the child will be having childhood trauma. Then about Mercury's placement aspect and conjunction and the how peacefully Mercury is placed, that can also show the disability. Then
Yes.
about the samskara, like how to teach the child and how it was really an eye opener. Like we need 60 years to get be mature.
Yes. And
So,
again, the best part is, Jay, if your first half is afflicted, your second half is bright. So as
yes,
the
yes,
child will grow,
absolutely right.
definitely the
Absolutely right.
child is going to grow and get better. So what the parent have to do is like just keep patience and
Okay.
wait till the child is growing towards the second half of his life.
Yes, 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 yes,
And
absolutely.
if the second half is afflicted, then be ready that however intelligent you are, your second half is going to be challenging.
Yes, yes.
Life is never the same. There is always, with the cycle that we move. And with
That's
each cycle, we just have to grow. Grow with intelligence, grow with mindset, have an open mind.
okay. Okay. So you answered a lot of things, and I'm so grateful for teaching us in a very great way. I always like children. Like when I was
Yes.
in my
See,
theological.
children are our creation. See,
Yes,
we,
yes,
we like the innocence of the child.
that's true.
However, the child is, we like that innocence. But we don't have that innocence anymore now. Our brain is working faster.
Uh, because I want to do something. I was thinking like, what to do for the society. I want to do more for children because they are budding uh, flowers. So they can do, if they are properly nourished, they can do a lot of things for the society. So thank you so much, ma'am, for coming back and sharing these things. I hope my viewers learned a lot of things and they can apply these techniques in life. One very important thing is that we need to understand the pattern, not ask the questions, when will I get married,
Yes.
when will I get a promotion,
Yeah,
all these so funny questions.
even for the child, you just know what are the weaknesses of child and what are the strength of child. And
That's
whatever the strength is, take that and let the child grow. The weakness you would not even notice then.
true. If we are asking like when I'll get married or when I'll get promotion, that is quite like abusing astrology, such a
Right.
big
Right, right.
science. So thank you, ma'am. Please come back
Thank
again with another
thank
topic.
you. Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
very
And
much.
wish you all the best and
Thank you.
all the best to all the viewers also.
Okay, I'll give Jayshree ma'am's email ID, then
Sure.
YouTube channel, everything in the box.
Sure.
And if you want consultation, please go to her. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jay.